Hello everyone and welcome back to the studio in Northumberland here. It's been quite a while since the last one, but now today, this one's a bit of a special request actually, because someone said on YouTube feedback it'd be really nice if you did the front cover of that little book. This one he means. So that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes with special requests, I think it's a really good idea, so then I'll do them. And that's the one. It'll be a little bit different, obviously. I can't be doing the same one twice. So, on with the drawing and straight in with the building here. You'll notice I've just taped the top and the bottom as usual, and I'll come across as far as I want, and then I'll tape off the sides. Starting off with the house here. About there. About there, yes. Little chimney here. Like I say, it will be a little bit different. I'm not going to do, well, you can't really do the same one exactly twice. There'll always be a difference. The roof. And there's the top of the roof. As ever, usual type pencil. This one's screw fix, IKEA, they all do the same job. There's a chimney slightly higher down, like so. And that comes down there. There, that's better. I was hesitating there, I wasn't sure about that line. But now it's all right. And that. You nudging me there, Gail?
Trying to step over the feet of the floodlight.
Don't be trying to step over things, you know what you're like.
Well, I was tripped.
And then that goes up to there. And a little bit there. And then there's a little building to the side of it. With a taller chimney there, look. And this place, the original painting I did, was in the Highlands of Scotland. And I must admit, I don't know exactly where, but I was doing a workshop up in the Highlands and saw this little place that I was driving around, and I thought, oh yes, that's going to come in handy. And it did.
Very handy.
Very handy indeed, and now it's been seen by millions of people all over the world because this little book is sold worldwide. And that's what I always think about, me being here in little old Northumberland and people all over the world see Northumberland through my eyes. That was quite poetic, that wasn't
Very
it?
poetic.
Didn't mean to be poetic, sorry about that. Bit of a window there.
Because you just had your breakfast, I expect.
Yeah, bacon butty would make me poetic. Another little window there. And that's the building, more or less done, really. Do that. Bit behind the building there. And then a little bit coming up here. Bit more of that. There's one. And then I've got the road track. On the road, a track. Coming out here. And then reappearing there. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right, Gav.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's all right, isn't it? Bloody hell. Did I just swear then?
You did.
Wasn't much though.
I don't know whether that's allowed. I think it's all right.
I think you'll be all right. I don't think I'll upset too many people with that. Because these days you can't say anything without upsetting somebody.
Especially not in my house.
Eh?
Especially not in our house.
Too bloody right. Bloody hell.
What you doing there, gal?
Bit there. Coming up there a little bit. And then there. And that's where it comes down to the beach there. The beaches up there are absolutely incredible. So light and bright.
Where was it, did you say?
In the Highlands of Scotland. I'd gone on that ferry from, you know where all the ferries go out to the Highlands. I've gone on that.
I do know, I can't remember the name of it. Yeah.
Neither can I. Honestly. It's old age, I think. I'd gone on that ferry and got off at the other side, and I was doing workshops over there. And I just had a drive round, had a day off in between, and just had a drive round. Day off, I know.
That wasn't Mull, was it?
No, it wasn't on Mull. It was, you got on the ferry from there, and the ferry did go to Mull. Right. But this wasn't Mull. Hang on, I'll just mull it over. See what I did there?
I did.
It was bad, wasn't it?
Terrible.
Here's the sea or estuary, whatever it is. Off there. And actually,
can I just see the picture a minute? Can you see what you're actually drawing? Okay.
And actually, I want that to be higher. In that case, I better make it higher, don't I? I'm not worried about that pencil there underneath, but that's going to be the top of the hill. And that comes in there. I've got another little bit there. It's funny when you've done a painting and then you do it again, you can't remember how you did it.
Some time ago, wasn't it?
Quite a while ago.
Your memory's not what it was.
Eh?
Your memory's not what it was.
Excuse me. So we've got beach here, then a little bit of estuary or whatever there. Then on top of that, the beach then going into a hill there.
Complicated at the back there, isn't it?
Hmm?
A bit complicated at the back there.
It is actually, but it's only a load of lines, so nothing to worry about. And then there, a little bit more. Water. And then the distant hills. Going off there. I think that's about right, don't you, go?
Yeah, I think so. I'm confused by all the lines, to be honest. It would make more sense when you stopped them.
If you
paint
think you're
on paper.
if you think you're confused, it should be in my head. That line there that was the top is now the base of the grass.
Yep.
That makes it sound like I planned that, doesn't it? I didn't. Pure accident. Yeah, that'll do that.
Okay.
A bit of water there, so that comes across there more. So now that should make sense again. It doesn't, does it?
No.
So you've got land, you've got beach, big expanse of beach there.
Yeah.
Got a slither of water there,
Yeah.
bit more beachy base stuff there, then another slither of water, then distant hills.
Okay. All right then.
There you go. I've taped off either side now. So now I'm just going to bash the sky on and then we'll leave that to dry for a second or two before we start with the rest. But before any paint, loads of water. That's coming from the top, hello, and coming just down into the distant hills. Like so. And a lot of this painting, like all this distance and stuff, and a bit of the foreground as well, is going to be very much wet into wet. Getting all the colours in while it's all still wet. Pre-wetting distant areas, different areas. Now I've got a little bit of yellow ochre and a tiny touch of light red. Start on that. And this is my 1.5 inch wash brush, this one. 1.5 inch. Very important brush for big washes. And now a little bit of ultramarine blue with lots of water. Like so. Coming down into it. Wash out. It's a very simple sky, this one. Wash out, squeeze out, and mop it up at the bottom. And I think there's a few years, a couple of wispy clouds there. Let me send one across there, look. Like I said, a very simple sky. Mop up there. And let that dry. Now my sky's dried and I've managed to find somewhere to prop that up. So now a lot of this is going to be done with the 3/4 inch flat brush. And I've got a little bit of ultramarine blue and a tiny touch of light red there, look. Just to grey it down a little bit. And one brush full of water there, that's it. All I'm doing, pop that in there like so. A little bit strong. There, that's better. Bring this across. All the way in. Like I say, a lot of this is going to be wet into wet. So while that's all still wet, let's bring that down a little bit there. While that's all still wet, I'm going in there with just a little bit of light red. Like so. Pop that in. Underneath the blue, you see it just bleeding up into it. Don't want hard edges over there. Now, hooker's green and a lot of yellow ochre. Plenty of water. And again, while that's still wet, put that in there. Just a few touches here and there. Now, just yellow ochre. When I say just, I mean with water, obviously. No other colour. Put that there. Going all the way down there, across. You see the colours going into each other. That's giving you a nice soft effect touch. I like that red, Gail.
You like what?
I like that.
Oh, good.
Who the bloody hell's Graham? And who said I like that, Graham? Who's Graham?
I don't know. Secret of yours.
And that.
Nothing to do with me.
You sure you're not Graham, boss?
Not Graham. Not last time I looked anyway.
I know you're a witch, but I don't know.
Graham the witch.
Look, all nice and softly running into each other. That's a technical term, that one.
I'm trying to look at the... I'm trying to film the book. The light's catching it slightly, so I have to be...
Well, I'm sorry, but I can see it.
Yes, I know, you can see it perfectly
Yeah,
well.
that's all right then. It's me that's painting.
It's
so
only at
all
some
right,
angles.
Now, that's still too wet for me to put that slither of water in there. It would bleed in, and that's where I don't want it bleeding in. Just mop along the bottom now. Give that a little bit more chance to dry. In the meantime, I'll move around the picture while one bit's drying, paint somewhere else. And so we'll go to there. Go to this bit here. And what I'm going to do here is pre-wet that hill. Just water there with the 3/4 inch brush. You don't always have to wait for bits to dry. Just move around the picture while one bit's drying, paint somewhere else. Somewhere where it's not touching the last wet bit. That make sense, Gav?
Mm-hmm.
I know what I mean. Won't change. Now, starting off with a little bit of yellow ochre. Put that in there. You can see it's all nice and wet and running. Now, a little bit of light red. Did I give you long enough to look at that, Pemda?
Just about.
Okay. All light red. Now, a little bit of hooker's green and light red. Hooker's green, if you don't know about hooker's green, it's about the most useful colour in your box. Because you can mix it with every colour you've got. One at a time, sometimes two at a time. Got lots and lots of different greens. There. And with a 3/4 inch flat, you've got a nice sharp edge. You can go around bits of it very easily. You can still see that pencil line there, but that will go disappear a bit more, sorry, when I put the shadow area in. There. All nice and wet in wet. And while I'm on that, I may as well do that bit as well. So again, pre-wet there. And that's coming down to the side of the house there, to about there. Again, the same colours, a little bit of yellow ochre, stronger this time. As things are getting closer, get them a little bit stronger. Bit of yellow ochre. And again, a little bit of light red. Again, slightly stronger. And again, hooker's green and light red. Look, there's my hooker's green. There's the light red into it. There. A bit more green. There we go. Look at the lovely effect when the colours are running into each other. And just by virtue of strength of colour, that is now coming further forward than that. You're very quiet today, girl.
Concentrating.
I'm quite worried.
concentrating.
Somebody put on YouTube feedback the other day. Brilliant film work. She's so good on the camera scale. I didn't reply with, yeah, you don't know. I kept quiet, girl.
It's very difficult doing the camera work and working you with my foot. Multitasking, but then we women are used to that.
There, I'll do for that. Now, I've finished fiddling about there for a while. Let that be drying to itself. Now I can go back to that stuff there. And I've got a little bit of water in the distance. That's just ultramarine blue, tiny touch of light red, and a heck of a lot of water. There, look. Up to the distance land there. And into here. And that'll do for that bit. A little sliver. Get a bit of light on the top of that. Wash out my brush, squeeze it out, and just take some paint out there, look. Straight away across there. Easy peasy. Isn't it, girl? Mm. Now, this middle distance bit of land. And again, I'm going to pre-wet it. There's a bit more green in this one, though. Some water in that, yeah, okay. There. Like I said, this is just water that I'm putting on. Do that. Now, again, yellow ochre, just yellow ochre. Plenty of water there. A little bit stronger, I want it actually. Yeah, that's better. That's a little bit of yellow ochre. Going across. Now, a little bit of light red. Don't want too much light red in there. A few touches in amongst it. Now, hooker's green and yellow ochre. There's hooker's green and a lot of yellow ochre into it. Plenty of water. Across there, and let the green run up into the yellow slightly. Sorry, I mean bleed up. Now, a little bit of Charles Evans sand. There it is, just sand. Like that, going across here. And that's going all the way across that bottom. Again, with the 3/4 inch flat, look at the nice sharp edge I'm getting there. It's a line all the way across. And now just with a little bit of ultramarine blue, plenty of water into it. I'm going to fill that line in between. It's a bit blue at the minute, but it won't be. All the way across down to where I've put that little sliver of sand. Isn't blue a beautiful colour?
Yes, my favourite.
It's adding life. I don't want it too sharp, but that blue in there just finishes that bit off. You see what I mean, girl? Mm-hmm. Of course you would tell me if you didn't.
I would.
Bloody hell, that. All the way across there. And up into the green a little bit. Look. Just with the corner of the flat brush. It's amazing the different effects you can get out of one brush. And I only use 4 brushes. So if you use every part, every side, every angle of all 4 brushes, it's a heck of a lot of different techniques you've got. You don't need dozens of brushes. I'm washing out and I'm squeezing out. Now that blue, like I say, it's a bit blue at the moment. Soften it up slightly, up, just with the corner of the brush. Like that. Not like that, just like that. And it merges it into the green side. Like that. Softening up. Sharpening up there. And now, just like I did over there for that bit of water, I've got a little bit of ultramarine blue. This time a tiny, tiny touch of light red into it. I'm just popping that in there. Like that. And all this here is going to be a big expansive beach. You see, when you do a drawing like this for the painting, it looks like it's going to be really difficult. But once you've got the drawing done, you see how easy it is. You're just filling it in section by section. So don't panic. Get your drawing on and then slap on the paint. Literally. You see how much paint that brush holds. I've done all of that with one dip. And I'm still drawing. Got a little bit of an inlet there. Just double checking. Yep. And again all the way across. Am I speaking too low?
I don't know.
Okay.
Until I come to do the edit, I'll have to turn you up if you are.
Oh, you can turn me up, can you?
I can, but then you start to distort.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm like when I'm distorting.
Not nice. Not nice at all.
The only thing that fixes it is beans on toast. I'm just dabbing on and leaving a few little bits of white here the under paper showing. And taking that behind there. And now I'm going to let that to dry before I do the building. Now, this is dried enough now. I can do the building. It's cliched and very classic. White building, red roof. But obviously, on the darker side, you can't just leave it white. Anything that's white in a picture, stick a touch of blue in the shadowed areas. So I'm changing to my number 8 round this time. And I've got a little bit of ultramarine blue, because that's the blue of the sky. And I'm just filling in that side there. That might be a little bit too strong. Yeah, that's better. Fill that bit in there. And the dark side of the chimney as well.
The dark side.
The dark side. That side of the building there. All with the number 8 round. And again, water holding capabilities of these brushes. You'll notice that I've filled in all of those bits with the first dip. There. And that side, those two sides, I shall leave white, the white paper showing through. Now, for the red roof, it's a little bit of light red, look. and a little bit of burnt sienna mix. Because light red by itself is going to be a little bit too bright there. So light red and burnt sienna mixed. I'll just pop that in there. And down there. All the way down. And up to where I've just painted that blue. I'm not quite touching it because that blue's still wet, obviously. A bit there, a bit there. You'll notice I've left out that bit of roof because that side is in the lighter side of the building. Across there and down there. Now that I've finished with that, again, just one dip, has done all of that, but now I've finished with it, no more paint on the brush, just more water on the brush. So it's a lot lighter for that side there, look. There. And for the windows, I've got ultramarine blue and a touch of burnt sienna there. And just a couple of little blobs within each window. There's only two windows. There's a blob and another blob there.
Got such a steady hand for those, I can never do that.
That's because I don't drink as much as you.
Don't drink at all now.
No, you're a teetotal, aren't you?
Teetotal.
It's perfect.
Sober as a judge.
Yeah. A couple of blobs, leaving a little white bit in between. I'll leave that for a second. There's some shadow to go on that yet. But in the meantime, while that's drying, I'll whack in this big bit of beach. Whack in a big bit of beach. That's very descriptive, isn't it?
It is.
And what I've got here, just sand, Cheltenham sand. Back to my 3/4 inch brush, look. And splash that in there. Now the sand, if you haven't got it, where have you been? It's such a useful colour. It's good for beaches, obviously. It's called sand. It's also good as a mixer. Put that into any other colour and you lighten that other colour without muddying it. It's good for stonework. Flesh tone, which is really difficult to mix in watercolour. Sand and light red, you've got flesh tone.
Or blue, added.
And a bit of blue added. If you've got darker skin, add a little bit of blue to your mix. All of that. And there's a layering colour, put that down. And put other colours on top of it, which is what I'm going to do in a minute. Bit of sand in there as well. Now, just a little bit of yellow ochre and light red mixed. And plenty of water. And I just want a few touches in there. Warm it up slightly. Bit there. Now, clean damp brush, just wash out, squeeze out, and with a clean damp brush, merge those colours in. Look. There, see what a nice colour that is? See what a nice colour that is, girl?
Lovely. Beach colour.
Oh, beautiful.
Beach colour.
Yeah, beach one. Easy peasy. Now I can go back to the building and put the shadow in there. So that's ultramarine blue because that's the blue of your sky. Don't change your blues for anything natural throughout a picture. Ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, so I've made a really naff purple there, look. Now a touch of burnt sienna. There. What I'm doing, in the window, look, because the light's coming from the left, in the window at the top and down the left hand side. And again, top and down the left hand side. That recesses the window into the building. And underneath the roof there, where the roof meets the building, there. there, a little bit there, coming upwards slightly, look. A little bit down there. Now, that bit of building there is going to cast shadow onto that bit of building. There. That chimney will cast a shadow there. All these bits are not on the original. I don't know why. Maybe I wasn't in a good mood when I painted that.
Oh, you in a bad mood?
Well, you can't imagine it, can you?
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, more water into that same brush full of paint, and just a little bit of aging going on there. Wash out, squeeze out, soften. Easy, isn't it? Whilst I'm in with the shadow, just going back to that hill, dune, whatever it is, and where the grass meets the sand.
I don't think that's right. I don't think you say sand.
No, you don't say sand.
Sand.
Sand. Where the grass meets the sand, you know, a nice dark edge there, look. That ties that down to the dune underneath it. There. Now, clean that brush. Soften it down a bit. Like that. Not like that, just like that. I'm just putting that water in at the base of where I finished that line. Like so. Like that. There. Now it's foreground time.
Okay.
Actually, it's not. I lied.
Pastime.
I've got what?
Pastime. Not bath time, pastime.
Pastime. Bit of yellow ochre there, look. That just goes in behind the house there, around the corner. Again, a little bit of light red. Everything's slightly darker this time. A bit of that in there as well. And hooker's green and light red. Pop that at the bottom a bit. And again, letting one colour run into the other. Dogs are barking. Who are they killing?
Speed delivery.
DPD man's getting it again. Isn't it? There. That just tucks that around the corner there. Now, in with the big brush. I'm going to do the path first. Ultramarine blue. Tiny touch of light red. Like so, there. And plenty of water. And we'll just... Tape's coming off again.
What are you telling me? It's not my fault.
Well, of course it's your fault.
Certainly isn't.
I'm putting the path in first, so it doesn't matter how much mess I make either side of it. I'll be covering that with grass. What?
That's a good job.
Yeah. Because if I painted that grass in first, either side, I'd then have to paint the path in very carefully. Doing it this way, it doesn't matter. A bit more water and block in there. It gets weaker as it goes further away. See how it got weaker there, Gav?
Yeah, I did.
Wash out, squeeze out, merge. Better. I can live with that now, dear.
Good.
Now, bit of yellow ochre, plenty of water into these mixes now. Bit of yellow ochre there. I say plenty of water, but it's stronger than it was over there. brush, that's a new technical term. And we'll do that here.
So you'll still be painting wet in wet, but just in a different way.
Yeah, each mix is wet and the next one goes in whilst the last one is still wet. So they're going to bleed in like that, look.
Yep.
That was a very pertinent question, that.
It was. It wasn't really a question, I was
You were just,
nudging you
you were
to
just
say so.
nudging me, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm not that daft, you know.
You know,
Believe it or not.
since when?
Since you said I could be. Bit of that there. Bit of light red there. And coming down and taking it up into the colours. And again, quick as green and light red. Quick as green, light red there. Bit more green. That's not doing anything. Bit more green actually. Yeah, that's right. Pop that in as well. Bish bash bosh. Dibble dabble. All the technical terms coming out now.
Well, it is an instruction book, we're painting.
That's right, you're right. Obviously you're right. Down there. Dogs are barking again. I can hear them in the house.
Another delivery.
And Bert's obviously up on the back of the sofa looking out the window, that's where it is. Nosiest dog I've ever known in my life. I'm gonna pop a few flicks there, look. Like that. That's not on the original one.
Controversial.
I know. If in doubt, put a few flicky bits in. Some of that over here as well, before it dries. A few darker flicks there, look. And again down here. Nearly done with this, girl.
Well done.
I don't mess about, you know.
I'll be the judge of that.
A few flicks there, look. And we'll have some flicks here as well, look. There. Up in front of the path. Bit more water in there. Move it about a little bit more. And some down here as well. Now, something else that's not in the original as well. I'm just going to, with the corner of the brush there, look. Tap on there, look. That makes a big difference, doesn't it? Yeah?
Yes, it does.
You know what that was?
What?
The stroke of genius. Oh, I do amuse myself.
Good.
Pardon? And come in there. Now here, in the original, I'm going to put these in because they are there in the original. So I'm going to make black, ultramarine blue, and burnt sienna. Never use manufactured black, make it black. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. Another nice way of making black, is alizarin crimson and hooker's green. That'll give you a nice black as well. And with my rigger brush for once, we'll have some. I was going to say lampposts, not lampposts, are they? Those
So electricity
yeah,
pylon, is it?
thingies.
No, not pylons.
Them thingies,
Telegraph poles.
them as well.
Don't know if it's actually used for telegraphs these days.
Well, I would if it was still on it. Because I'm old.
True.
Bit there. Bish bosh bosh, bish bosh bosh. Bish bosh bosh, that's another. Now that's a steady hand for you, girl.
I know. It's amazing, really.
After all these years. Oh. Now I want a little bit of shadow that side of the path. So again, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson and burnt sienna. And just a little bit in here, look. A little bit there. And I want some shadow. You're probably wondering why I left that white just underneath the cottage. Were you? No, you weren't, were you?
No. Because you'd forgotten about it.
No. Cheek. Because now I can drop in there.
Oh, excuse me.
Don't amuse yourself too much. I'm dropping there with a bit of shadow. Look there. And that helps to tie the cottage down into the landscape.
Okay.
And a little bit of that just there as well. So the cottage there. See how that helps to pop the cottage out a little bit?
It does.
Again, the stroke of genius. Do we want a seagull in there or a bod?
A seagull, I think, is a good idea.
I think we do. Well, you say seagull, and actually,
It's not an albatross, is it?
it's amazing what remarkable similarities there are between buzzards and seagulls. And a tick with a stick. Just there.
Gorgeous.
Now, all I need to do now is take the tape off.
Just let me do a compare and contrast.
A compare and contrast, well, it's smashing super lovely.
Okay.
And there we go. Tape off, and it's looking not too bad at all, he said, as he removed his glasses. So, a close approximation of the original. I've changed it a little bit here and there. Fairly deliberately, it has to be said. But we've got quite a lot of books on the website. Various mediums, watercolours and acrylics, and some oils as well. That one, of course, has been a very, very popular little book. That shows you how to do it. Is my glasses caught up in your cable, Rego?
Yes. Okay.
Gail's having problems with her cables.
Technical problems with you.
With me?
Well, you picked up the cable with your glasses.
Do you, Joe? And so,
Don't you disrespect me.
oh God, I'm going to be in for it
You
now
are.
online,
You're
aren't
gonna
I?
get
Yes.
wiped
You
off.
disrespected her.
Wiped off this video.
That one's to show you how to do it, and if it goes totally wrong, that one is to show you how to put it right. Two little books. We sell that as, and you can buy them individually, but we sell that and we call it double help. So, very good little books those, if I say so myself. The paints I've used are all Aquafine. There you go, Aquafine paint, Dale Rowney. Everything I use is Dale Rowney, but the Aquafine paints, strictly speaking, they're students' quality paint. They are very, very good, strong pigment, as you can tell. And I'm putting a lot of water in it as well. Good, strong pigment. And these are
180.
£1.80 a tube on my website, charlesevансart.com. The paper I'm using is the Langton Rough, and we sell it in two sizes. Those two. And it's lovely paper. And there's no wrong side to paint on. You can paint on both sides because it's internally sized. One side is slightly rougher than the other side. You can't really see it on camera. But it doesn't make any difference which side you paint on. Just both sides are equally sized, ready to take the paint. And as I said, everything is Dale Rowney, including the brushes. And again, the brushes are Aquafine, 1.5 inch flat, 3/4 inch flat, number 8 round, and a number 4 rigger. And that's it. And for this one, I've used all 4, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, for this one I've used all 4. I've just done I can't tell you too much about it actually. For the publishers, I've just done 104 paintings, is it?
Yeah.
In about
2 months.
2 months, 2.5 months, 104 paintings for a new series of publications that's coming out, which will be later on this year. And it's very exciting, or I'm excited about it anyway, but I've finished them now. And I used all 4 brushes for a lot of them, but for some of them, I didn't use the big one. So I just had 3 brushes. So you can get everything you want with in any painting, landscape or cityscape or whatever. You can get everything you want with a few brushes. You don't need dozens of brushes. So stick to a few. And they're aquafine. As you can tell, they carry a lot of water and they're very, very sturdy, so you can give them plenty of abuse as well. This set is about 7 years old, and I use them for my acrylics as well as my watercolours. Fabulous brushes. Again, they're on the website. And I keep getting told that I should be saying at the end, if you like this, subscribe, like, press that bell. I don't know, what's that bell all about? Press that bell, do all that stuff.
So
anyway,
you subscribe.
if you're on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, it's at Charles Evans Art, and I'm showing you paintings on there as I'm doing them, stage by stage. Hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you very much.